Recently, my family and I started our cross-country adventure by picking up a camper van from Gearbox Adventure Rentals. Gearbox offers rentals and custom-built vans, camper trailers, and more. And so the adventure begins. I must admit, this was my first time driving a camper van as well as driving a Mercedes. I must say, this is smoother ride than I thought it was going to be. It feels like a cross between a van and a truck as far as size and feel of the size, but it's pretty smooth. And for being a diesel, it's pretty quiet too. Makes me think back, we have a van for our family, but I've driven trucks before, like U-Haul trucks. Nothing really bigger than that, but it kind of feels like a combination between the two of those, a van and like a U-Haul truck. I'm thinking back to this one time I was driving this U-Haul truck, and it was just like, it was not the best truck at all. It felt like riding a horse and shooting a machine gun at the same time. It was just kind of like, So this definitely doesn't feel anything like that. But as we started our first day on the road, we really didn't get the start that we wanted or hoped for.
No. The kids started talking about a sore throat, and I'm like, oh, no, you can't get sick now. Like, we're just starting. Like, we can't do this.
Yeah.
We can't do this.
And on top of that, it was really, really windy. And the whole time I'm driving, it's like I'm having to have both hands on the wheels. It wasn't like I'm just cruising. Yep, I'm enjoying this camper van. There's no like, no, the wind's blowing, don't let it blow us. It's like this, because this van's a little taller than our van and a lot of vehicles that we're used to driving. So it's like, with the height, it's like a sail. It just wants to catch that wind. And it was blowing hard. I even think I saw a sign that said, watch out, caution, 40-mile-an-hour winds, because it was blowing really, really hard.
Yeah, it was. You were over there very focused on your driving.
So for like hours of this first day, I'm fighting this wind, and it gave me a whole different appreciation for what the semi-truck drivers have to deal with carrying these trailers in the back and the wind. It's like, man, they must have to wrestle this too, because, man, it is quite interesting. It was, whew, man, it was tough. And then hours into the trip, Micah was talking about, man, my stomach's not feeling well.
Yeah, we had switched off, and so I was driving. You were actually on a phone call. He was not feeling well. We were going through the mountains of the Ozarks in Arkansas, and all of a sudden, you know, it's not a road trip without somebody throwing up.
We do have a tendency in our family that deal with motion sickness and getting car sick, so I do give it to him for that. And I've dealt with it in the past, especially when we start going around these curves. So we really think that it was just car sickness that he dealt with, because he was just like coughing and spitting it up, and it was like, oh boy. And as you're going through this stuff, it's like, okay, it's not the start we wanted. We should just go, should we go back home? We do have a farm with goats and chickens and ducks. We just go back home. They probably would rather us be there anyway, even though our helpers really probably doing a really, really good job while we're gone. But it's just like, you're questioning yourself as you're dealing with these challenges. It's like, do we really want to continue on? But it's like, we need to remind ourselves why we're doing this trip to begin with, because it's like, we're doing this to invest in ourselves and our family.
That's right.
Because we want to have experiences that, not just from a book or a TV screen, but to have real life experiences. And especially since we homeschool, we really want to equip them with these opportunities to do that.
No, we do.
So we're gonna press on. We're gonna press on despite the challenges, because we have a goal that we want to reach.
Sometimes you just got to put the vomit stuff in a bag and just keep on trucking.
Besides, we have a lot of different things planned for this trip, a lot of different places we want to visit, and the ultimate goal is to head out to Utah to see Redmond, America's only unrefined salt company that we're huge fans of and really want to see their operation. And besides, if we head back home, they'll just be laying down, and they can just lay down here in the van and recover on the way and see a lot of great things.
That's right. We have like 3 or 4 days on the road, so you're normally over it by that time. So let's go.
Also, a number of hours into the trip, we made our first stop for fuel. And we knew going into the trip that fuel costs were up compared to what they have normally been the past year or two. So, but we were ready for approximately what the price would be. And the first stop was like $4.69 a gallon. So I was like, oh, that's pretty good. So one of the things I'm thankful for is we don't really drive diesel vehicles a lot, and it really has this really big green sticker that says diesel only, so it really helps as I'm getting the fuel to say, oh, I gotta make sure to put diesel in, because you don't want to mess that up, put the wrong thing in there for sure.
You don't.
Gas is full. Let's stop that. And then after about 11 hours or so on the road, we made our first stop in Missouri.
At our friends the Rormans. Patrick, the dad, he owns a business called Empty Knives, which you'll see Mike wearing one of his knives.
Really good knives.
And Emily, the mom, she makes these really great earrings, and I have several pairs. And their kids are super talented. They make wooden spoons and scoops and bowls, and they're really an entrepreneurial family.
And we've spent our first evening in the van at their house. And just in case you're wondering how we did our sleeping arrangements, well, Lacie and I slept here on the top together and the kids down below. And before we came, we just ran it by them to make sure that they were comfortable with us staying here with having some kids that were having some symptoms, but they were like, come on, we really want to see you guys. And besides, our kids have been overcoming some sickness or something too, so we're totally comfortable with you guys coming. And we had a really good time while we were there.
We really did.
And we actually got a lot of good video footage of their operation and things that they do together as a family. But stay tuned for that video, because we look forward to sharing that sometime really, really soon. And after spending a few hours with the Rormans, we hit back on the road, and thankfully the wind was not as bad as it was the day before. And it was actually beginning to turn out to be a pleasant drive, despite it being just pretty cloudy everywhere. It was a nice drive.
And you might want to know, like, what kind of food are we eating on the road? Well, we normally bring a lot of beef jerky. That's one thing that, you know, is always good for road trips. But this van actually has a small fridge, so we brought along sandwich meat and everything, and we've been making sandwiches and just easy, fast stuff so we can just keep on going.
As our journey continued, you could see the landscape just gradually changing from hilly to being flatter. And we were starting to see things that we had never seen in person before, like the big windmills. It's like, whoa, these things are huge.
They are.
Wow, guys, look at all those windmills over there. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. That's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot.
They look neat, but not the prettiest thing to see on a landscape. What do you guys think?
They're weird. I thought the pit bulls.
What?
The pit bull.
Oh, because they hit birds.
They do hit birds, don't they, buddy?
I think they look pretty ugly.
They sure do.
It just looks like, I don't know, factory.
Definitely takes away from the aesthetics of the place. The natural feel is gone. When I say gone, it just negatively affects it.
It's unnatural.
Yeah. And as we're getting out there in western Kansas, for me personally, I really, really, really enjoy just seeing the openness and how flat and everything just looks so beautiful. And it's like the sky just opened up and got bigger. I really, really like driving through that area. Wow, that's pretty crazy. How flat it is all the way around. Beautiful.
So while we were driving through Kansas, we actually remembered that it was Josiah's 10th birthday. So we asked him, what do you want to eat for your birthday? And of course, like most of the time, it was pizza. So we did a quick Google search and found a pizza place. So we stopped and had lunch, and Josiah got his pizza.
I actually think he forgot his own birthday. He was like, oh yeah, it is my birthday today. So we've made our next stop. It's been another long day of driving, and I'm ready to hit the bed. But the place that Lacie found for us to stay at, it's really exciting to see what lies await out there, because it's a ranch, and as the sun was setting, it was like, whoa, it's getting dark, but it looks like this place is pretty cool. I look forward to seeing what's all out there. But we'll just have to wait to see what it's like in the morning. I'm tired. See you next time.
Bye, guys.